It all started on a regular Friday night. I had just moved into a small, charming apartment in an old part of the city. The building was the kind that had a story to it, with creaky floors, wooden windows, and a faint smell of dust that couldn't be completely erased. But there was something about it that I liked. Its quietness, its sense of being tucked away from the chaos of the world. That evening, after unpacking the last of my boxes, I decided to visit an antique store I'd passed earlier that day. It looked like the kind of place that held hidden treasures, the kind of place where time seemed to stand still. I had always been fond of antiques, and the old store's dim lighting and shelves crammed with relics from the past beckoned me. I didn't know it at the time, but that innocent visit to the store would change everything. I spent a good hour wandering through the narrow aisle, examining everything from the withered books to tarnished silverware. But then something caught my eye. A small ornate box, tucked away on a high shelf in the back corner of the store. It was beautiful, with intricate carvings etched into its dark wood. There was something almost hypnotic about it. A strange sensation washed over me, as if I were being drawn to it by an invisible force. The shopkeeper, an older man with deep wrinkle and dark eyes, noticed me staring at it. "That one," he said softly, "is a special. I wouldn't recommend it, though. Not unless you want to invite trouble." I chuckled, assuming he was just being dramatic. After all, it was just an old wooden box, right? But there was something about his warning that stuck with me. Something about the way his eyes lingered on the box made me hesitant. Still, I couldn't resist. I paid for it and left the shop, clutching the box tightly in my hands. As soon as I returned home, I placed the box on my kitchen counter. It seemed harmless enough, but I couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. The air in the apartment felt heavier, as if the very space around me was charged with an unfamiliar energy. The first night, nothing unusual happened, but by the second day, I started hearing strange noises. Soft knocks, like someone was tapping on my walls or windows. At first, I thought it was just the old building settling, but the sounds became more distinct and rhythmic, as if something was trying to get my attention. It was on the third night that things took a darker turn. I woke up to the feeling of someone watching me. The apartment was dark, but I felt a presence near my bed. My heart raced as I tried to move, but my body felt paralyzed, frozen in place. I could see nothing, hear nothing, but I knew something was there. The next morning, I found that the box had moved. It was no longer on the counter where I had left it. Instead, it was sitting on the floor, near the door to my bedroom, as if it had been placed there deliberately. I tried to dismiss it as a coincidence, but the strange occurrences only grew worse. At night, I'd hear whispers, soft voices, sometimes laughing, sometimes crying. The sound came from nowhere, echoing through the apartment. It was as if the walls themselves were speaking, telling secrets from another time, another place. One evening, I found a strange mark on my arm. It wasn't a bruise or a cut. It was a symbol, etched deep into my skin, as though something had scratched me with sharp, cold claws. I panicked, running to the bathroom to examine it under the harsh fluorescent light. The mark was circular, with jagged lines extending outward, like a twisted sunburst. I didn't recognize the symbol, but I knew it was connected to the box. I thought about returning it to the antique shop, but a part of me knew that I couldn't. The box had a hold on me now, and I couldn't explain why, but I felt like I was trapped in its grip. By the end of the week, my life had completely unraveled. I couldn't sleep, couldn't eat. The voices were louder, more persistent, and the strange marks on my body kept appearing. I tried to tell myself that I was imagining it all, that stress had gotten the best of me. But deep down, I knew I wasn't crazy. Something was happening, something supernatural, and I was at its mercy. One night, I sat by the box, staring at it for hours. I could feel its presence, almost as if it were alive, watching me, waiting. The whispers grew louder, now distinctly in my ear. I felt an overwhelming compulsion to open it, to see what was inside. I had never been so sure of anything in my life. With trembling hands, I lifted the lid. Inside, there was nothing but dust and a small, withered piece of paper. I unfolded it, and my heart stopped. It was a warning, a curse written in an ancient language I didn't understand, but there was no mistaking its meaning. The curse was clear. Anyone who opened the box would be bound it forever, trapped in a cycle of torment, their soul claimed by whatever entity lay within. And worse, if you tried to get rid of it, the curse would follow you wherever you went. Panic set in as I realized the depths of what I had unleashed. I tried everything to rid myself of the box, burning it, burying it, throwing it in the river. But every time it would come back, the box would reappear, right in the middle of my living room, as if mocking my attempts to escape it. The curse had followed me, no matter where I went. It was there, lurking just out of sight. I couldn't escape it. That's when I learned the true nature of the curse. It didn't just torment you with whispers and shadows. It took something from you, piece by piece. First, it stole my peace of mind, turning my dreams into nightmares. Then it stole my health, night sweats, migraines, an unbearable sense of dread that never left me. But the worst part was when it started taking the people around me. Friends, family members, anyone I had a connection with. They started disappearing, one by one, vanishing without a trace. Every time someone I cared about vanished, I would find a new mark on my skin, a fresh wound, as though the curse were claiming its toll. One night, after losing yet another person I loved, I made the decision to leave. I packed my things in a frenzy and ran as far as I could. I moved to a new town thinking I could escape the curse, but even in the new town the nightmares followed. The whispers echoed through my new apartment. The shadows watched me from the corners of my vision. And, most chilling of all, I found the box waiting for me, sitting in the center of my new living room, as if it had never left. I realized too late that there was no escape from the curse, no place where I could hide. The box had followed me, just as the curse had warned, and now there was no going back. To this day, I can feel it, the box, the curse, waiting for me. It's always there, just around the corner, lurking in the shadows. And sometimes, late at night, when I can't sleep, I hear those whispers again, calling me, beckoning me to open the box one last time. But I know better now. I know that once you open it, you can never truly escape. And so, I live with it, a prisoner to my own curiosity.